What we're doing here goes, everybody. It's starting, so wrap it up and clean it in. It's coming up right now as I start the countdown, and remember how to do this. It begins in 3, 2, 1. Coming up on TMS in Ohio, with God, all things are possible.
LAX gets lax. Let me try that again. LAX gets lax about pot.
Oh, laxative. Got it. Okay. Nailed
X-lax.
Colorado couple gets lost.
Oh, no. The Cat Poo Neighbor.
How long is your stash?
Making things with Bill.
Jury duty and more on this episode of The Morning Stream.
Bel Air is the cigarette that adds a new dimension to smoking enjoyment. First, Bel Air gives you the clean, refreshing taste of its menthol fresh blend of fine tobaccos. Then Bel Air adds the modern recessed filter, set deep, to put a breath of fresh air between the filter and you. Menthol fresh blend, modern recessed filter.
This is The Morning Stream. I'm bleeding to death. Humor me.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to TMS. This is The Morning Stream for October. You're really laying it down there. I like that.
I am.
What? Push the ceiling. No, what do they say? Raise
the roof.
Raise the.
This would be raise the roof. I was doing the. What is this called? I'm sure somebody knows the name of this dance where your arms are outstretched like you're a action figure that doesn't have much articulation.
Yeah, I don't know what this is, but I like it. Someone's got a name. Someone in the chat will tell us. But
oh, hey,
hey,
ho,
ho, hey,
yeah,
ho.
that's what it is.
I'm with OPP or however it goes.
I'm a toddler floating on the water and with water wings.
It's the toddler float. Well done, you've nailed it. Hey, pushing the ceiling. I did mean raise the roof. So thanks, chat room, for reminding me how dumb that was.
The ceiling's very low.
Be careful, you'll scrape your knuckles. Ho. That's probably not. I'm taking it too far. Hey, I just got back from the place, and suddenly it's October 2nd. It's crazy. It's 2018. I'm Scott. Wow. That's Brian. And listen, we're back. The show continues on. You may have thought it went away, especially some of you at home who weren't paying attention, because Brian was right. Sure enough, I got people sending me messages saying, "Scott, where's the show?" And I'm like, well, if you listen to the show, you know that there weren't going to be a couple of them. So
right, yeah.
I don't ever understand that. I don't get it. But like people that say, where's Unfriend Me? I'm like, the last episode was like a 45-minute discussion about why the show was ending. And people still want to know.
If we just record like a little 30-second thing that is basically the beginning of a TMS. You know, it's us doing the read saying, there's no show today. Hey, there's no show today. Oh, the show is gone today. We'll be back on Monday. And there's no show. All this and more coming up next week when we return.
We're back. Yeah, see, that's the way to do it. Because sometimes we say this stuff at the end of the show, maybe, and that's why they're confused. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe they don't listen to the whole thing. Listen to the whole thing. What's the matter with you?
That's right. Now, here's the deal. People are saying, well, where were you? Well, I went to Ohio, as many of you are aware. And I went to Columbus, Ohio, to be specific. And all you locals call it C-Bus, and I don't like that. So stop doing C-Bus. Just call it Columbus.
C-Bus.
Yeah, that's dumb. Just call it Columbus. Right. C-Bus is dumb.
C-Bus.
C-Bus. My wife goes, that sounds like I'm on a train trying to get to the C-Bus. I'm like, yeah, it does kind of sound like that. But, yeah, quit doing that. Anyway, here's the deal. I should start at the beginning. And I'll just say, overall, that was rad. I really like Columbus. That's a place I could live. It's cool. It's super artsy and fartsy and kind of Austin-like, and there's kind of even a Park City vibe to it. And just like imagine a cool, nice little compressed city where you can get anywhere really fast, and it's not too crowded, and there's a billion cool bars and restaurants and stuff they're not chain restaurants. It's like just a great downtown vibe. College school, because USOs or OSU is USO.
The USO is there. Bob Hope is performing.
Going, hey, baby, or whatever they sing. And then up the road, you got that whole university, and they got that comics museum, which I'll tell you about in a second, because you would have died. You would have died.
Heard about it. Saw your tweet about this. I'm excited.
You'd have lost your mind there. It was so cool.
Yeah.
As someone I know who appreciates that stuff. So Anyway, so I wanted to get that out of the way first. It was an amazing trip. Had some good talks at the event. Got to meet a whole bunch of people. Some friends I didn't expect to see were there somehow, miraculously. Saw some fans, saw some listeners. A bunch of people in the chat room today. Got to meet them. That was great. And I would like to begin, though, by telling you a airplane story, Brian, if you are willing to hear my airplane story. Okay.
Please. I feel like any Scott Johnson trip is incomplete unless he comes back with an airplane story.
As you as well, right? Like, both of us seem to get the bad. Like, what you do in movie theaters and what I do on dog walks, they come together in the airplane. In the airplane,
Venn diagram for us overlaps on the airplane.
So, first of all, I want to just say this to Delta Airlines. I don't understand you guys, or anyone, actually, because the way this flight works, it's like 3.5 hours to Detroit and then 28 minutes to Columbus. So you literally have to fly all the way to Detroit, have a little hour-and-a-half layover or whatever, and then get on a plane for 28 minutes to get to Columbus. I don't understand. Just go the rest of the way. Just keep going. Drop us off.
But not everybody on that plane is going to Columbus.
A lot of people on that plane were. Like, when I got off, I thought, oh, maybe they all split out to different things, or this is their final destination. Most of us got on the next 28-minute plane. Like, I don't get it. I know they're not a hub, and that makes a difference. And Columbus, that is. John Glenn International, I learned. But up there at Detroit there, nice airport, by the way, Detroit. Good job. I didn't get to see RoboCop or Eminem, though. I was sad. I was really hoping to see either of those guys, but they weren't there. But no, really nice airport. I don't know why I was surprised. It's just nice. Anyway, why don't you just go the rest of the 28 minutes is the dumbest little commuter thing I ever did. And they're like, even the people on the plane make jokes. They're like, and we'll be coming through about halfway through the flight with drink service. Haha, just kidding. It's too fast for drink service.
Right, exactly, yeah.
So it's just weird. But anyway, here's the deal. I get on the plane. We leave the house we get up at 3:30. We leave the house at 4:30. I know. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Nick finished playing Fortnite at 2:38, so we heard him. We heard him going to bed as we're getting up, which is
oh my god,
kind of hilarious. So anyway, Kim and I get up. We're all packed for the day before. This is Friday, and we're tuckered in for a long day of traveling. Which, anyway, if it was a direct flight, it wouldn't be so bad. But my gosh, it was gnarly.
But having to do a connection, how long was your layover in Detroit? Or was it even?
It was an hour and a half
to get off the plane.
Yeah, we did. It was an hour and a half the first time.
Saw the airport.
Yeah,
right.
So we did an hour and a half for the first flight, or on the first leg, and then on the way home, it was like 2.5 or 3 hours layover, which is why we got home so late last night. But anyway, so we get on this plane. Now everything's fine, and this is one of those nice cross-country planes, which means it's that Airbus, whatever, with the 3 and 3 seating, and everyone's got a TV screen. Everyone's got movies. Okay.
Sure.
And we only had one set of headphones, so I let Kim watch it, and I did other stuff. I read and played on my Switch and screwed around, and she watched like 4 movies over the weekend or whatever on this thing, and that's all fine. Right in front of me is an Asian lady. That doesn't matter to the story. It doesn't matter if she's Asian. She's a lady. She's just a lady. I don't know why I said Asian lady.
You're providing it's context. I mean, I think you can describe her nationality as long as it's not, and she didn't know how to drive the plane.
Right, yeah, that's true. Because these Asians, you know how they are with driving. Right. Anyway, so she's sitting right in front of me.
Really good at math.
She's sitting in front of me, and and everyone else, they're looking at the screen and selecting their little TV shows and movies. One guy's watching live sports, and somebody else is watching some TV show, and she's flipping through the movies. And I'm thinking, well, since I'm not watching one, I'll just be distracted by people watching, and I just noticed she starts doing this pattern of behavior the entire 4-hour flight, 3.5 hours, whatever it was. And that's this. Start a movie, watch the very little first bit, take her finger and try to scroll the player, the marker over like 15 minutes, stop, wait for it to catch up, watch it for a minute, do it again, do it again, do it again.
Oh, so that one does have the ability to do that? That like
yeah, you can skip around.
There's a scrubber? Oh,
a scrubber,
really?
yeah,
Wow.
that's what I was trying to think of the word, is scrubber, yeah.
Yeah.
So she's scrubbing through this movie. I think she had Deadpool 2 on at one point. She's going,
she's looking for the nudity.
Yeah, maybe, looking for boobs.
Like she's got Mr. Skin on, says, all right, boobs at 18 minutes and 22 seconds. All right, scrub to 18 minutes and 22 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. Gets her fill, goes on to the next boobs. And then she would get out. and then she would pull up another one, and she would do the exact same thing. It didn't matter what movie it was, what genre it was, what it was. It was zip, 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 zip. Okay, didn't like that. Go back to the other one. Zip, 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 zip. And she did this over and over again the entire time. She never settled on one, and there are hundreds of choices, okay?
Oh, geez.
She never settled on one. All she did was watch these things like a flea might watch movies. You know, like
she
a
likes
flea's
the previews, and she likes making her own previews.
Yeah, she did. That's what she did. She made her own, like, trailers.
Just making her own trailers,
zip,
exactly.
Zip, zip, zip. And I wanted to reach up and go, smack! Smack, smack, smack. I just want to smack her. It's like, you can't do this. Stop doing that. And the truth is, she has every right to do it, and I have every right not to say anything or even be bothered by it. But for whatever reason, my brain just went on this lady, and I couldn't stop watching her do this. So about 3.5 hours, my legs, I got like jumpy legs. I'm just going, oh my gosh, she's doing it again. And she's, this time it's on some TV show, and she's just skipping ahead to the end. And I'm like, well, watch something live. Watch like CNN or something. Then you can't skip it. Then you'd be forced to watch that crap. She was driving me crazy.
Isn't it funny? I mean, there are that totally happens to me. Like, it's something that you know, it's somebody's perfect right to do something the way they want to do it, whatever. But it just is like, why are you doing that? Why are you doing that?
Yeah.
Like, watch the whole thing. You want to tap her on the shoulder and say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I was watching that. Could you go back to the last movie?"
I mean, I should have done that. I should have done that. But I got to the point where I had to just like force myself to look someplace else. It's like I just can't do it. And I was listening to like a podcast, but it wasn't good enough. It was still distracting the hell out of me.
Now, Asian or you know, Jewish or Hispanic or whatever, all people,
yeah,
white people and black people and all people of all color and Hispanics.
Yeah.
That doesn't matter. But I'm guessing, and you're probably going to tell me she was an older lady, but I'm guessing she was young, like, because this is such a, it feels like such a current generation or current artifact of the smartphone, YouTube, little bits and pieces lifestyle of like, I want to scroll through Facebook and just get little seconds of everybody's life and carry on with my day. Like,
you would think. I would probably agree with you that that's what I would expect. What it was instead, though, is this lady's like pushing in her 60s somewhere.
Okay.
And the people next to her are more the stereotype you're talking about, and they're watching the whole thing of whatever it is. Like, I watched this girl who looked like total hipster, 28-year-old, whatever, turned on what's it called? Turned on Deadpool 2, sat back with her little headrest and watched the whole damn movie all the way through the credit sequences. Like, she was in to win.
Wow. Well, you got to watch through the credit sequences.
Yeah, but I think I'm just saying, I think our stereotype's wrong. It's weird old people that do this now. The young people are fine. The young people, they're out there watching their full movies. They're fine. So we got to stop. I'm going to stop ripping on the millennials. I think they got it going on. Yes, Brian.
Nope. Why is it? That's a little slick and slippery. Slipped right out of my hands. Why is it that you don't have one of these yet? The Airfly.
What is that?
Because you've got your AirPods with you, right?
Yeah.
You plug this guy into the headphone jack of the airplane.
Yeah.
And you press that button, and it immediately goes to your AirPods, and you sit there and enjoy the audio from the movie on your AirPods.
I would have totally done that if I knew that was a thing. I had no idea.
Get one of these. Come on, quit screwing around and get an Airfly.
All right, I like a good.
I make no money from this.
No,
unless you go to coverville.com, click on an Amazon link, and then go get an Airfly. Do that.
I'll do that. That's how I'll get mine.
There you go.
I like a dongle. I'm just saying. I like a good dongle.
I know. I wish it wasn't a dongle, but the best thing is using it with the Oculus Go.
Oh, right.
I still kind of want to sideload some movies on there and then get on a plane and just sit there like I'm watching Netflix.
Yeah. Yeah. Then
it's a lot of stuff to take. I mean, you know, it's a big device, but
right. But also you can watch your nudie movies without anyone knowing. You know what I mean?
I can, yes, right, exactly.
Nobody will have any idea.
Movies.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Tina! There are giant boobs in my face. Holy mackerel!
I like that. I like the idea that you would yell it on the plane. That's pretty good.
Exactly.
Just sitting back with that on your face.
Tina, there's boobs in my face. Yeah. At some point, maybe we talk about this with Tom tomorrow. But I want to talk about the Oculus Quest. Yeah.
Yeah. I read a bunch about that on the plane. Actually, that thing looks tight. tight.
It does. Tight,
The problem is it needs a PC. It's just wireless to the PC.
Oh, is it really? Okay. Yeah. I thought this was similar in situation to the Go. It's not.
It's not a standalone device, yeah. So you still need, because it's got the.
I'm glad you read about it, because I apparently have it.
It's got the guts of an Oculus straight up Rift, but a wireless.
Yeah. Okay, so that's.
They called it Silver Lake or something like that, or Chicken Cake or some name. I forgot the name.
Chicken Cake. I'm sure that's it.
It's probably Chicken Cake.
Chicken Cake. Yeah.
So, all right.
Featuring new chicken cake technology.
That's right. The latest and greatest.
Anyway, back to our airplane.
All right. Now, I want to go all the way on the other side.
Okay.
And the trip home featured another challenge.
Okay.
Right in front of me. Okay.
All right.
Big dude bro. Now, I think this is because he was there was a bodybuilding / like gym rat sort of convention happening at the same time as GDEX, right in the same hall, down the hall. So there was a lot of mixing of people doing, selling muscle milk and looking buff and and all the gym shit.
Sure. Was it probably pretty easy to tell who was going to GDEX versus who was going to the bodybuilding?
It was downright obvious. I'll say that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you could maybe see Joey Image sitting there scratching his head, looking both directions in the middle of the hallway, trying to figure out, where am I going? Where am I going?
Yeah, he's a fence sitter, that guy. We don't know which way he's going to go in a given time. So that's going on, and I think this is one of those guys. And I don't have any problem with people doing whatever their thing they're into. It's fine, but this guy sits down in front of me.
Oh, we've learned that you do.
Well,
people doing their own thing, but
yeah,
let's pretend for a few moments that you don't.
Everyone, just for the next little bit of the story, pretend I don't have that I have a problem with no one. Okay.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So, guys comes in. He plops down like he owns the place. That's fine too. You do own this chair for this. You've rented that chair for this flight. It's yours. Go ahead and plop down like a giant monster. It's fine. Flopping his stuff everywhere, looking annoyed, whatever. He's doing what he's gonna do. We take off, and my knee. I'm a tall guy, and it sucks.
Sure.
Planes are terrible for me. So I've got I always have to kind of spread eagle it. If I'm on the aisle, that means the cart lady's gonna smack me every time she comes through. If I'm on the other side, I'm completely wedged, and if I'm in the middle, it's an utter nightmare. So in this case, I'm on the outer side.
Us guys have to man spread on planes. Tall guys like us, we do some man spreading.
That's right. We got to spread our mans. So I got my knee kind of wedged. I kind of have it held up and wedged up against the seat because I don't want to get hit by the cart.
Right.
And he kind of starts looking annoyed up front, like this, kind of going. And then out of nowhere, he whips around and goes, "Dude, bro," or he called me bro. "Your knee is in my back. It's right in the middle of my back. Your knee." Like that. And I went, "Oh, sorry, tall guy problems." And he goes, "Meh," and turns the other way. All right.
Okay.
All right. So that's how. Oh, thank you, honey. My wife brought me a chai. Thank you very much. It's very kind of you. Best personal assistant you can ever have.
Is that, by the way, is that from Montana?
No, this one. Oh, I don't know. Where's this one? Is this the Montana tea or just the regular chai I get?
Regular chai you get.
Oh, okay. We'll do a Montana tea tomorrow.
Oh my God, I love the pumpkin spice chai or pumpkin masala
me
chai
too.
that
the monkey masala chai too.
I want to talk to you after a show or offline about an idea I have about that. But anyway,
okay. All right, that sounds good. No, we'll do it tomorrow. We're good. Yeah, no worries. Okay. Sorry, she's talking to me over there. So dude bro turns around, whatever. Then there's this extremely nice Asian lady. Again, an Asian lady. And in this case, it has context, okay? There's a reason. Chinese by birth, I believe, because she was talking to her kids, her nanny, and her husband in Chinese, in Mandarin, which I recognize from my time in China, and then very good English otherwise, but a strong accent. And she was talking about how she was hoping to maybe switch seats with somebody because her children are up there, and we finally had her sit down with us, and we said, "Well, what's the deal?" And she says, "Oh, our flight's delayed, this and that." And she's been like traveling. They went to France on vacation, but their flights all got canceled and jacked up. So they probably had to stay in Salt Lake tonight because they couldn't move on to San Jose where they're from. And it's just a big nightmare. She told us the whole story. And these two little kids have been on planes and running through airports all day for like 12 hours or something.
Right. Oh my gosh. Right. From France and holy cow.
It was bad.
Yeah.
So apparently the screw up began in France and then just got worse. for them. So what are you doing over there? my wife's like crinkling up everything. Is everything all right? You okay? Oh, it's a mess, she says. All right. Well, that's because Nick was here alone with no rules. Anyway, what was my point with this? Oh, so super nice and sweet. At one point, I just think, well, how's Dude Bro liking this conversation that we're having back here? And how does he like?
She's next to him, or she's
next to us, but his row is between her and her family. So she keeps having to go to her husband, going, so say something in Chinese. And he'll say something back in Chinese, and you can tell this guy does not like the Chinese in the plane. You can tell he's a minute from just going, go back to your own damn country kind of thing. I could just feel it. I just had a sense of it. I could just feel that guy was stewing.
You can sense the soup starting to bubble over.
Yes. And at one point, one of their kids is crying. Kim, first to help, stands up. Bro, bring him back here. We'll hold him. I've got some candy, and we can, we'll help out. So he comes over. She brings the little baby back and sits down. She's, oh, you guys are so nice and kind. And we're like, no, don't worry about it. And gave him the kid and made him smile a little bit and all this. And this guy, the fact that he had to be in that proximity of a potentially crying child, he looked like he was going to go ballistic, and the fire marshal guy was going to have to freaking come out. Not fire marshal. What's it called? Air marshal.
The air marshal. Yeah. Air marshal. Yeah.
The fire marshal who doesn't fly on planes.
Fire marshal, sure,
Why not? But anyway,
wow,
I hated this guy. I hated him. And it started with the knee, and it just got worse. And it's like 4 hours of that. And by the time we got done, again, he's Mr. Stand Up First, grab his shite, push everyone out of the way. No one's getting in front of me kind of guy.
Yeah.
And plus, we had another lady who changed her seat 4 times. Or 3 times? 2 times. Oh, she left. I mean, it was 2 times. I can't remember. But she kept changing her flight. She'd go up to the front desk and say, I really don't want to be. And they'd say, where do you want to be? Can I be in the bulkhead with the extra leg and the thing? Yes, you can do that. So they get her arranged. She comes back. You know what? I've changed my mind. I think I want to. So she does that. And then at the very end of this thing, before, you're supposed to wait till the lights come on. And then that's your sign that you can get up and start getting your bag and get ready to leave. She bolts from the back of this plane. This is a big plane with 219 people in it. She bolts from the back of the plane and sprints to the front of the thing so that she's first.
Why didn't she ask, if she's busy asking for seats, why not ask for like the frontmost seat that she can get?
I don't know. I'm still bothered by her. Either she had like some weird extreme anxiety about waiting in a line in a crowded space. Could have been something like that. Kim thinks
a connecting flight, but even that.
Even that, you're not going to get out. I guess you will once they open the doors. But she still had to stand there for 15 minutes. Freaking F that, dude. She pissed me off, that lady. Yeah. Anyway.
Now, people who, unless you've got a connecting flight, people who don't let the row out in front of them on an airplane, they're currently spray painting your name on a parking spot in hell, basically, is the deal.
Yeah, you're monsters. Don't do that. And also,
just let the people out in front of you, unless they either wave you ahead and say, oh no, it's going to take me a while, or clearly you can see that they've still got their seatbelt on and they're just kind of getting situated. It's like, okay, well, I'll go ahead and
And in our current climate of how people fly, if you're putting your seat back, you're also a monster. Don't do that. I can't move.
I don't know. I mean, it's hard for me to.
I can't move.
I know it's hard for me to get angry about that anymore, because when I had my coccyx issue a few years ago, right around this time of year, as a matter of fact, a few years ago,
coccyx 2017.
I needed the seat back. I would move it. I'd look around behind me, make sure that. That somebody didn't have their head forward or something like that, or have a laptop on there, and I'd inch it back very slowly, but I'd have to have it back to kind of ease the pressure off of my butt.
Well, that's the other problem. That little space where, so you have the seat, and then you have the little space where the armrest is, and there's almost like a little notch in there, like behind a seat. I like to put my knee there because I can actually have space where the notch, where the armrest is. The problem is, like Asian lady on the first flight, she wants to pull that up and get it out of there, and she goes crank, and that thing just goes right into my kneecap. So none of it's good. You can't lean back, you can't lean forward, you can't move your thing. Like, I blame the airline industry for trying to figure out how we can cram more people into these things.
Yeah,
it sucks. Freaking sucks.
they're looking at profits. I don't think they even consider air rage as a response to this, as a
factor.
byproduct.
Yeah, it's a factor.
Yes.
You should think of that when you're making this stuff. And if you try to get even one more row in, you bastards, I'm going to call the federal aviation people and do nothing.
Right.
All right, here's the other thing. Dude bro left, everything's fine. Otherwise, lovely flights. No turbulence. No.
Other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how was the play? Yeah.
No crashing, no weirdness, no strange detours. All on time. In fact, a little early in 2 cases. Like,
Sure.
they gave us everything they said they were going to give us, and they gave us seat assignments next to each other last second because ahead of time you couldn't do it, and so that was nice because I like to, we like to sit together, and so that stuff was all good. So Columbus is a rad town. I've said all that. I want to thank everybody who came out to see either one of the 3 talks I did or participated in, or oh my gosh, dude, one of them I did on parenting with a lady who runs a dev and publishing company, and
Really?
then another guy who does outsourced graphic stuff for various AAA titles. Used to work at Volition, and anyway, it's kind of a big deal. Sitting with those guys, I felt a little outranked because they were super video gamey, and I was like Mr. Content guy. But anyway, that was all fine, and we talked to these guys. The girl sitting next to me, telling all these stories. She's married to this guy named Adam. He's the creator of Cannibalt. And I was in awe because I went, whoa, stop for a second. I said this right in the middle of the talk. I'm like, Cannibalt? He invented the Endless Runner.
I love Cannibalt. Yeah.
He invented that genre, man. I mean, he may not have invented
right.
it, but he did it in such a big way that he's like the Bejeweled.
That was the first ever Endless Runner that I ever remember playing. Yeah. So for all intents and purposes, he invented the Endless Runner.
He did. And then there's a trillion after him that are all, various levels of okay to bad. But that's just like the other one I just said, whose name I just forgot. It's like Bejeweled. And then you got Candy Crush and all that shite later. But I was just in awe of that. I was like, oh my gosh, and I couldn't stop talking about it. And she says, at one point she says, my husband's taught me this lesson. Zubba, 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 kids, this, that, and the other. And I said, you know what your husband's taught me? He's taught me that if I stop running left or right, I'm going to fall down between a building and die.
If I tap too early, I'm going to miss that roof.
Yeah, I couldn't help it. I had to make that crack because it's just too big of a deal. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for coming to those. It's a smaller con, not like we had full rooms or anything, but it was still nice to see a bunch of you there. And I have some names. First of all, happy birthday. Let's see, I think I have a thing for this. Yeah, I do. Here we go. Happy birthday to Beffy.
Beffy.
She's the sweetest girl ever. She was so nice. She turns 29 or 30. I can't remember. But she was so nice and so cute. And she was just this total sweetheart. And I want to wish her a happy birthday. Today's her birthday. She was there, and that was very nice. Jeff, I have to thank, because he brought us Jenny's ice cream. They were not kidding about that. Everyone told me Jenny's ice cream was to die for and you'll never have better ice cream. I'm here to tell you, I've never had better ice cream than that. It was
Did you have it just as regular ice cream or as a shake? Or
I just had regular on a cone. Well, he brought us a tub, which we had, and then later I got part of another cone at the actual Jenny's place. I'm like, I got to see this place. Like, this is amazing. And it's just a little hole in the wall. And Kim got like 3 sample thingies, and that was really good. It was unbelievable. Like,
really?
Blown away. Everybody that recommended Bear Burger, that was really good. Yeah.
You're saying this beats the flavor burst at the Anaheim Convention Center during BlizzCon.
Yeah,
you're telling me.
I know. I'm going out on a limb here, but I'm going to say it's better than that, yes. It may not be better than the fun you have getting it, but...
That's true. Yeah, that is the joy of flavor burst at the Anaheim Convention Center during BlizzCon.
And he brought us some other stuff, like some amazing popcorn thing. This was all like local favorite stuff is what he did, this little package. Jeff, you're the man. Thank you for all that. I met Jordan there. That was nice to meet him and his wife. She's pregnant and due in January or February or something. Congratulations to them. Nomic was there for a huge chunk of time. It was fun hanging out with him. Rishi B was there. I don't know if I've ever met anybody nicer than Rishi B in my lifetime.
Rishi B is fantastic. Yeah, he and his wife came out to Arvada, and we hung out for a day. We went to the Belgian Frites place. in Old Town Arvada. Just ate French fries for a while.
He's awesome. Just could have spent all day with him. Yeah. He was really, really nice. There, excuse me. There's this rad couple whose name completely escapes me, so I apologize for this. She teaches school. I could have talked to them. These were just like the nicest Southern people. I could sit on a porch and talk to them for days. They were so nice. So I feel bad for forgetting their names because I thought I tried to write down as many names as I could, but I'm so bad. And there was a whole bunch of names. Huge, biggest thanks. And I just saw he's in the chat, and I swear I'm not doing this because he's in there. I had this plan. Looking at my notes, Brian, you saw it.
Yep, I see it. Yep, I was in there before.
Huge thanks to Steve Hamaker, who was responsible for the invite in the first place. He's part of the board of the GDEX thing. Having me out there and just being the most gracious host and driver and a million other things.
Very cool.
I'm already Steve. I've loved Steve and have for years. He's been a part of this community forever, but he's such a freaking talented bastard. Sharing his table with him at the thing was really cool. I love watching him work. I love seeing the work he's doing. He had a couple of just random meetings with people that are in the industry of comics and so on. The creator of Amulet, which is huge with kids and is published by Scholastic. Got to talk to him for a while. He was fascinating. I was in like nerd heaven hanging out with them that night. So much fun. They got me in the Cartoon Museum and got to do the tour of that place. I got to see like this huge military grade security thing they have housing all of Bill Watterson's collection. He donated it all to the school there.
That's right. He's from Ohio. Yeah.
He still lives there.
The Cleveland area, right?
Yeah, still lives just outside of Cleveland, I believe.
Yeah.
So they showed us a bunch of his originals. We talked a bunch about him. His wife, Jenny, has interviewed him before, so she had all this insight. Jenny's amazing. They made us dinner on Sunday night, and we ate over their place. Had this like chili they've been making their whole lives. It was fantastic. Their kid's amazing. Just one of the nicest human beings I know, and I was really grateful to even call him my friend all weekend. So,
dude, I love Steve. Steve did the Coverville show artwork.
Yeah, he did an amazing instance thing in the past as well. Like he's just great at using his talent in ways that I don't know. His work ethic is amazing. He makes me want to make long form stuff, even though he warned me against it. He's like, I don't know, it's a lot of But I kind of feel like I felt really inspired by a lot of the stuff he's done. He's also a huge WoW nerd and loves video games, and he's really cool. Really cool. So if I can figure it out in the next day or so, whenever they put it up on YouTube, we should have the audio from the little instance panel he and I did, and I'll put that up so people can get it.
Oh, very cool. Yeah.
But I can't say enough about him. In fact, to celebrate such a good time, I would like to now present to you the state song of Ohio, just briefly. Here you go. For it. Actually, you don't have to wait for anything. It's not. That's basically it. And then
I thought it was Neil Young.
Yeah,
all little Ned Nixon's coming, all dead in Ohio.
That would be cool. They should adopt that.
Or Pretenders. I went back to Ohio, and my city was gone.
Well, and how about this? Here's the Ohio State fight song. Check this out. This is so college. We really got into this vibe, too, because that's where the Cartoon Museum is.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And this is like their... I'll tell you about the football thing in a second. Here we go. Got people in the background going, hey! All right, anyway, so here's the...
At what point do they sing round in the middle? No, was it high in the middle, round on the ends, Ohio? That's the song?
I don't know. Song like that. Maybe that might be the state song. The version I found didn't have lyrics, but I'm sure there's a lyrics version. Anyway, the other thing I liked about that town was that we were not there on game night. They had an away game, and that was probably good because apparently the place turns into a nightmarish traffic nightmare when the university is playing at home. So we didn't have to witness that, although we did see people freaking out at a bar for an otherwise very close game that was happening away. Anyway, I loved it. It was a great time. Thank you so much, Ohio. You were the best. Goodbye. So dumb. Anyway... Well,
meanwhile, I went to the dentist and had my mouth stabbed with a needle 7 or 8 times.
Oh, man. Everything go okay, though? Like,
Just fine.
You're all right now? All right.
Yeah, I was all numb yesterday for the second half, so I'm like, I want to go get soup for dinner. I want soup.
Chat room, I go to bars all the time. I just don't drink. It's actually possible. It's actually possible to go to a bar and not drink alcohol.
This is your radio newscaster with another exclusive, sensational summary of world and local events.
All right, let's get to the news, brought to you by
Current Geek tonight. What's up with that?
Thank you for adding that flourish.
No problem.
Tonight,
I can't say Current Geek without clearing my throat.
Tonight is a autopilot edition of the show, and we are in celebration of 30 seasons now. It just started its 30th season, The Simpsons.
Oh.
We're doing the pilot episode of The Simpsons, which people are going to be surprised about. It was actually not aired until like the 12th slot of the first season. It had to go back for a bunch of reanimation. So there's going to be a ton to talk about with that, more than I expected. Yeah, I'm actually really excited about it. So anyway, that's tonight. Tom Merritt and I talking about the autopilot edition of The Simpsons. Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Nice.
30 years, man. Crazy.
Wow.
Right? I know. It's bananas. Let's take a look at the news since we last left. Let's get right back to airports. Why not? This might be good for you because you come from Colorado and you may have something in your bag. LAX. That's the Los Angeles X Airport. What does it stand for? Does it stand for something?
Los Angeles? No, it doesn't. It's just LA was too short. You need 3 letters for an airport code. So they said, X is fun. Let's do X.
It should stand for pain in the ass, hard to get around.
Plus, you can't do S because LAS is Las Vegas. LA, I think a lot of them are already taken. So X is safe.
Yes, I agree. And chat room, yes, we will talk about the shorts on Tracy Ullman. Don't worry. LAX Airport to allow marijuana on your carry-ons. Oh, yeah.
Great.
Oh, that was one thing we got to Detroit when we did the whole, please check your bag here. It'll be complimentary. We don't have enough room. It's a full flight, all that stuff. So we did that, and
I noticed you said, like, this always happens. I can't tell you the last time. I can't remember the last time it's happened to me.
Really? It happened every flight I take. Every BlizzCon flight, these flights?
Usually do Delta, right?
Yeah, maybe that's why.
Yeah, Delta just has problems with Delta.
I guess so.
Southwest, I pretty much always have a place to put my carry-on.
Apparently that's why it was so busy at our airport last night. Getting home, it was packed, and they said it was because Southwest was offering $25 flights to anywhere in the U.S. or something weird like that.
Wow, I missed that. Damn it.
It was crazy. I'm like, oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. That's why everyone. It felt like a Walmart. It was crazy. Anyway, so here's the deal. Oh, when we got to Detroit, but the point is, we were going to go get our bags because we were a little nervous about connecting flights and having the bags not show up, and so we usually don't like doing that. And I'm walking by the ground crew, and I hear some old lady in the ground crew wearing like the orange vest, and I hear her go, "I don't think anyone here knows what the hell is going on." And I went, "Great, that's great, thanks." It's just like walking through the back of a restaurant and finding out, "I don't know how, but my toenail's in the chili." Like, don't tell us.
Right. Exactly. We want to feel like the airport, everybody knows what's going on, even though there's a really, really good chance that not everybody knows what's going on. We just don't need to be reminded of that.
Yeah, completely agree. Anyway, so here's the deal. They have announced at LAX it will permit travelers to bring small amounts of legal marijuana through security in their carry-on bags. Man, if you went back like 20 years and put this headline up, people would lose their minds.
They'd be like, what? Yeah, my stoner friends in high school, this would have blown their little drug-addled minds.
It might still, some of them.
And then they would have forgotten about it about 2 minutes later.
You should go tell Dave next time he flies to LA and he needs to pack some.
Oh, come on, like he doesn't know.
Yeah, he knows. He probably knew before they knew. They knew.
Right, like he probably is already packing edibles on every flight.
Totally. It says here, this does not mean you can toke it up, though. You can't smoke it in the airport. You can just
you
pack
can't
it.
smoke it in most airports.
Unless
you go to a designated area.
Smoking area. As far as I know, there are no airports that let you smoke anymore without the designated area.
Las Vegas airport, you've got like the little smoking glass booths with slot machines. Like little humidors.
I just think you're getting every kind of cancer in there, you guys. Don't go in there.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Bad idea.
It's all Virginia Slims in there.
says here, in 2016, California passed their own Proposition 64, aka the Adult Use of Marijuana Act. Passing of this proposition means that as of January 1st, 2018, you can legally in California have pot for individuals 21 years of age or older to possess up to 28.5 grams of marijuana and 8 grams of concentrated marijuana for personal consumption. LAX is honoring the same regulations in the airport, allowing travelers over the age of 21 to enter the airport and pass through security with permitted amounts of marijuana. I wonder if the drinking folk will say, well, what about us with our bottles of beer and whatnot?
Well, you can buy alcohol at the airport once you pass through security, and yeah, you
just can't bring it in.
It's a liquids thing, not an alcohol thing. If you go buy that powdered alcohol that you mix with water, you take that through security and then mix it with water, your freeze-dried vodka or whatever it is.
I forgot that was a thing. That's people.
I don't know if it's still a thing, but it was a thing for a while.
Have you done that? Have you tried that?
No, I haven't. I would try it. I'll try the country time lemonade of of alcohols.
Yeah, duty-free weed. I like it.
So how does this work if you're flying to a state that doesn't allow marijuana? Like,
oh, right.
Do they look and see where your ticket is and say, okay, yeah, you can fly to Las Vegas, you can fly to Colorado or whatever, and then say, oh, no, I'm sorry, you can't fly to Alabama, or you can't take this with you to Alabama?
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder if they would. Are you arrestable the minute you get off that plane? Do they get? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
Same thing is, I don't know how it works if I think what happens if I'm in Colorado, as an example, and I leave the state line and now I'm in Utah and a Utah highway patrolman pulls me over, I think I'm now arrestable for having pot, even though 5 minutes that way I wasn't.
Right. When you were in airspace.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess it'd still have to be the California airspace. It was legal, but as soon as you crossed over into Utah airspace.
Yeah. They just need to make it nationally legal and knock it off. It's so dumb.
Yeah.
Just make it illegal across the thing. I know this is how this stuff works and it's a slow go, but just be done with it. I'm not smoking it. I don't care about it. Nobody cares. But look at Brian. It's all around him. He could walk next door right now and go, Dave, give me a hit, and he could get it. He could get a fat blunt
if I wanted one.
You could get a fat blunt from Dave right now.
I could a spleef.
A spleef. What else?
A doobie. I could have a doobie.
A cornhole, and you could pass it on the left hand side, right? Can't you pass it on the left hand side? Yeah,
sure.
A Dutchie. Sure. Yeah, not a cornhole. It's not a cornhole.
No, cornhole is the game you play.
A roach.
It's the millennials. It's the millennials' favorite game, by the way. Is cornhole.
They like corn. I've heard they like cornhole.
If you have one of those big lumberjack beards, and your hair is shaved, but really long on top, but shaved around here, then cornhole is your favorite game.
Absolutely. And also, by the way, Jenny's Ice Cream and the Bear Burger place we ate.
Yeah.
Nothing but hipsters with weird pants and dumb hair. Everybody.
Sure. By the way, I looked it up. Jenny's is available at Whole Foods. Ooh. So I'll be going to a Whole Foods at some point in the next few days and picking up some Jenny's ice cream.
Highly recommend it. They have this thing called the milkiest chocolate. It's not really that milky, but it was
really
to die for.
That's the flavor to go for?
Well, that's what I got. Right. I recommend all of it. Everything I tasted. They even had a tasting station. It was amazing. Those guys, they got it going on down there at Jenny's.
Wow. They're in California, but nowhere near Anaheim.
Yeah.
So you have to go to Calabasas or Venice Beach to get one.
Chat room says we forgot one of the terms. It's a fatty. You can smoke a fatty.
Oh, of course, a fatty, sure.
Yeah.
Thank you, Crepitant.
Yeah.
Crepitant.
That's a cool name.
Steve Hamaker says salted caramel is the way to go.
Yeah, that was Kim. That was one of Kim's 3, and that was fantastic. Also, in fact, I kind of wished I'd have gotten the cone version of it. But we walked to this place. The whole like stretch of what's it called? The High Street, Steve? I forget what you called it. Anyway,
that's in Colorado, Scott.
I just don't remember. But it was all like gentrified and just bar after bar after restaurant after cool place. It all felt super safe. People are friendly as hell there. Dude, big ups to Curtis, our Lyft driver on the way out. We got pulled over by a cop. And
oh, wow.
Yeah, in fact,
I've never got pulled over in a Lyft or an Uber. Wow.
Have you ever been pulled over by a cop, even by yourself where he wasn't actually in a vehicle? He was on the side of the road and he pointed at you and then pointed to the side of the road. Has that ever happened?
No, huh?
Okay,
no.
That's what he did here. He pointed to our guy Curtis, and to the guy behind us. Went like this, and then he said, and then he pointed in front of him like, pull over. So Curtis pulls over. He says, you're going 62 and a 50. And I look at the sign. I'm like, that says 65. What is he talking about? And and the guy, and that's what Curtis says. Curtis is like, it says, I think this is a 65, officer. And he says, it's currently under construction. Y'all
so
can't go that fast. And he goes, well, there's no marking or anything. Oh, there is. Now, if you want to fight this, you show up with the deal with the thing. And like, he was kind of mean.
So he still got the ticket then.
He got the ticket.
Yeah, fines double in a work zone. So
yeah, but Curtis was awesome. Yeah, so we started the I stand. We started that on Twitter yesterday. Everybody's been spreading that around. Let's get that trending, you guys. Funny. I stand with Curtis. Yeah. Curtis was great.
Curtis was an inside job.
She had another Kim had to go rush to a Target to get me a monitor for last second for our booth. And so we had to buy a cheap monitor over there. And she got an Uber with this guy he's a black dude from England who had just the coolest accent. And he had recently been working some sort of IT job and was laid off and was doing Uber and Lyft in the meantime. But he was so nice. He goes, she told him what was going on. She goes, oh, let me help you out. And by that, he meant he took her to the place, went in with her to make sure it was the thing she needed. HDMI connection, 24-inch, this stuff I needed. And then went back outside and I said, all right, open up your app, pretend like you're getting a new driver. I'll accept it. Boom, I'll take you right back. He was the nicest guy. Like, everyone there was so freaking nice. I don't know what's going on. Just everybody in Ohio, I don't know what I thought. I didn't think anything. I went in there not knowing anything. And it was just a friendly city. Everybody was super nice. Very diverse city. Just with tons of arty-farty crap going on. I got to shut up about Ohio. I was very impressed, though. I don't know about the rest of the state. Everyone's like, oh, Ohio's a hellhole. I'm like, I don't know about the rest of y'all. I just know Columbus is badass. That's
Dayton's
what I know.
Nice. Cleveland's okay. Got the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah. We got Len Peralta there. He's all right.
Right. Cincinnati's okay. Yeah.
He sent me a text. He goes, what are you doing in my state? And I said, what do you mean? He goes, well, what are you doing here? I'm like, well, I'm here. Do you want to
thanks for listening to our show, Len.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. And I said, you want to hang out or something? And he goes, I'm like 3 hours away. And I said, okay, well, we don't have to hang out. And he goes, well, I'm going to be there next weekend. I'm like, well, I'm not going to be here then. Okay. Yeah. We're just passing in the night. It was just a weird conversation.
I like your impersonation of Len. He doesn't sound anything like that.
He's being all passive aggressive in my story. Yeah. Okay. Anyway. I saw. I forgot his name. I can't say it. There were so many people's names I forget. Oh, Brian and Seven were there. Those guys are great. Anyway, enough of this. Let's talk about a proposal in Colorado.
Yes, not a like a government proposal, not a bill that's being proposed.
No. This isn't policy here.
Will you marry me kind of proposal.
Oh, those are cute. Well, let's find out more. Proposal on a Colorado peak leads the couple to get lost and have altitude issues. It's one thing they don't tell you about the mile-high city. It's actually literally high, and your lungs may not like it.
You worked so hard on trying to outdo everybody with your proposal. You didn't pack a map or think about the altitude.
Yeah. There you go. Texas man found a scenic location in the Colorado mountains to propose to his girlfriend, but the couple ran into trouble on the way down. Boulder County Sheriff's Office says 27-year-old Joshua Mason of Denton, Texas, took 28-year-old Katie Davis on a hike Saturday to Jasper Peak. You ever been there? You been to Jasper
probably,
Peak?
But
yeah.
Jasper Peak. I mean, I'm not much of a mountain climber, but if I've driven up there, if it's drivable, then I've probably been up there.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brian drives everywhere. 13,000 feet, by the way, above sea level, which is enough.
So not a 14er.
Yeah.
But it's a 13er.
That's enough to make you. That makes me feel bad. I can do 10. Anything past 10, I get like altitude sickness. It's bad.
Right. A near 13er.
Yeah. A near 13er. It's a new phrase that we're all going to be saying now. They got lost as darkness fell The couple were showing signs of altitude sickness and dehydration when a hiker found them. He led them to his camp, gave them food, water, and a place to warm up. Another camper called for help. Rescuers researched the camp. Reached, rather, is the word I'm trying to read. The camp's early Sunday, rather, and walked the couple to their car. They didn't require medical treatment. Sergeant Clay Leak.
Sergeant Leak.
Sergeant Leak. I like that it's Clay. Clay's a great name.
Clay.
Bill Clay.
Yeah.
Anyway, he says they learned the engagement was still on, so they're still getting married despite their bad experience. We are going to take a break and come back with Making Things with Bill. We will hear from Bill today. He's around, so that'll be fun.
Yay!
And we'll have Justin here as well after that for jury duty. I have no idea what to talk to Jerry about. I know there's a lot going on in politics, but I'm kind of sick of this Kavanaugh deal, so I have no idea what he wants to talk about. We'll find out shortly. Guy seems like a real douche to me, by the way. That guy.
Kavanaugh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems
he's
douchey.
a little, he, say what you want about the credibility of his accusers, but just the fact that he doesn't act very judge-like when he's being questioned.
No, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Forget about the other stuff. If it's not corroborated, the FBI investigation comes up with nothing. Okay, great. But what he did on under oath, freaking out the way he did.
Yeah.
I understand.
Hey, Scott, ask me if I've ever gotten blackout drunk to where I don't remember.
Hey, Brian, have you ever gotten blackout drunk and you don't remember?
I don't know. Have you?
I don't know. Have you? Yeah. And then she said, well, I'm not asking. Have you? He says and interrupts her.
Why did she say, dick. I'm not the one applying for a job here? Yeah. That's what her response should have been.
Yeah, I think he's a wiener cheese. Yeah, just on that level. Forget about all the other stuff. I think Ford seemed credible, but, I'm also a big believer in the law, and you do an investigation. If you can't corroborate it and it's all good, then great. But he's just a little bit unhinged there. I don't like it. Yeah. And that weird little thing on his forehead gets really tight and small and devilly.
Oh yeah, I mean, boy, I want to play poker with Kavanaugh because the dude has about 11 tells.
Yeah. Yeah, he really does. It's like they have a couple aces. No. Okay.
Right, exactly. You look at his cards. I'm gonna raise.
I wish listeners of the show only could have seen Brian's face.
Yes. Just squinch up your faces.
It was really good. All right, we're gonna come back in a minute. Before that, though, Brian usually brings